Hey, good afternoon. How you guys doing? Wanted to talk about uh, getting things in balance today. Finding that right balance in the realm of living healthy, eating healthy, and exercising. Um, Hi, I'm Dave. I like to take you guys on these walks with me um, as I travel out of my pity party of 5 years after my accident, where I shattered my heel, broke some metatarsals, fractured my tailbone, messed up my back and neck, and tore my abdominal. Blah blah blah, all that fun stuff. Um, got a couple of metal rods in my heel, fused my ankle, and I'm walking with this cane. So I'm a multitasker. I can listen, ignore, and forget all at the same time. Like that shirt. So finding balance in your journey to getting healthier. Now, I mentioned this, I think, before, where Ben Azadi, from Keto Camp, he says, you don't lose weight to get healthy. You get healthy to lose weight. That makes sense? Because you're getting healthy, and then by getting healthy, you lose weight automatically. Now, a lot of people, I'm a carnivore, and a lot of people think that's a very restrictive diet. I think the opposite, because I believe in words matter, and how you use words definitely reflect in your personality. It's not reflective to me. It's the easiest diet. I just eat meat, butter, and sometimes some cheese. Can't get easier than that. And then now I've graduated up to a little bit of fermented sauerkraut to help my gut biome. So I'm like 90% carnivore. I also eat some goat cheese, some pecorino, because it's high in fatty 15, which is a really good block, a small block amino acid chain, or whatever they call that, omega chain, or you know what I mean. I'm so bad with this stuff. But so finding that balance, because all these fitness gurus out there, and I'm definitely not one of them, they tell you got to count calories in, calories out, and it doesn't matter what you eat. And then sometimes they do say, yes, it does matter. But most of the time they're like, it doesn't matter what you eat. If you want to lose weight, you got to be in a calorie deficit. Well, let's see how that works for the average Joe. Have you seen the show, The Biggest Loser? It's had a couple of seasons. You ever notice why there's never any 5 or 6 year Biggest Loser reunions? That's because by doing just a calorie deficit and running them to death on the exercising and stuff, they all bounce back and they end up gaining more weight than what they did before, because they didn't find their balance. All they were concerned about was cutting calories and starving them, and then over-exercising them. They didn't learn anything from it, and it messed up their metabolism and their metabolic sense. So you got to find the balance, and so you don't need to focus on cutting calories, right, or being in a calorie deficit. You need to focus on training your body to be back into eating natural food. So you can be keto, you can be Mediterranean, or you can be, like me for the most part, carnivore. I can't speak to veganism because I don't agree with it. I understand it because you want the treatment of animals and stuff. Good on you. But I don't think it's the way humans were meant to eat. So I won't go there. So you finding that balance, you got to talk to yourself and say, look, I don't need all this over-processed food and all these chemicals and garbage, right? because that's what's making my body inflamed and suffer from all these ailments and these conditions and disease, like diabetes, heart issues, plaque in the arteries, fatty liver. I mean, what is it? America is almost at the 50% obese rate now. That's just crazy. And it's all this over processed food with the list of ingredients that you can't even pronounce. You need a chemistry major. And even then you don't know what they are. But they are designed to be very addictive and very bad for you. They just want you to keep eating, and they block your brain from receiving signals about being satiated and full, so you stop eating. So yeah, and then so you gotta start with finding the balance, saying, hey, I need to wean myself off of sugar, carbs, oats, breads, all that stuff, especially here in the States, because bread is more considered like a cake because it's got 2 spoons of sugar in each slice. That's ridiculous, not to mention all the other garbage. Now, I would drink milk if it didn't have all this other added garbage in it and preservatives. Cheese, most of the cheeses have an anti-coagulating thing and an anti-mold thing in it, unless you get natural, like I do the Pecorino from Italy. And I get organic half and half creamer that I use in my coffee. It's just milk, not all this other garbage that's added to it. So and then looking at it as that this is the right way to eat. You don't have to do cheat meals. Some people say, oh, it's okay to have a cheat meal. Then you're just putting all those bad sugars and carbs into your body. And why do you want to do that? You're just cleaning your body out. It's better to become fat adapted and have your body live off your fat and burn ketones than to burn carbs. I don't care if a fitness guru says you need to bulk up on carbs. Look at all those fitness gurus when they say, oh, you need to bulk up to gain muscle and cycle through your carbs and just overeat. And look at them. They're always bloating up and getting fat and then starving themselves in a calorie deficit to get back down to bodybuilding or fitness levels of 10% or less. What is that? That's ridiculous. You want to be able to maintain your ideal body weight based on your height and everything and your age, and which is about 10 to 12% for men. Some places say more or less, but I think that's the number I shoot for, because I like that definition from it. I'm getting there. I'm not there yet. And then you have balance. Your body is in balance. You're not worried about having a heart event in the next, or a stroke in the next few years. I was reading, I saw a really good reel about the years we have left. Based on the average American male, we live until like 76. I'm 58, soon to be 59 years old next month. So that means I've got 16 years left on this planet if I go by that. And most of the time, when they're 76 years old, that's in what they used to call the no-go years, where you're either got dementia, Alzheimer's, or you're in a wheelchair or walker, you can't walk too much, you're overweight, I don't want that. I want to be in my still go-go years, being able to be vibrant and walk around and stuff. I may use a cane, but I still want to be able to get around. I don't want to worry about having a triple bypass, or like my mom had four double bypasses, two double bypasses, so four bypasses. That makes sense. When she was in her 50s. So she died in her 60s. So I don't want that. So I've got 16 years. I don't want that either. I want to live into my 90s and be still vibrant and strong. I'm not as strong as I am now, of course, because, it happens, but I still want to be active and virile, you know what I mean? While you hit that like button. So it's finding that balance of exercise, eating right. Don't look at it as restrictive or a fad. Don't do these fad diets. It's Mediterranean, keto, or carnivore. Pick the one that you can sustain yourself in, and look at the long-term picture and your why, so that you can see what your goal is. So when somebody tempts you with a beer, think of your man boobs. Every glass of beer that you have is giving you a cup size of man boobs. C cup, B cup, you know what I mean, right? And then anybody gives you a donut, that's just going right towards your stomach and creating the bad, dense LDLs along with the seed oils that is going to leak into your arteries and cause plaque buildup, which can rupture and give you a heart attack or a stroke. All right? So don't look at it as, these are restrictive or fad diets. Look at this as a way of life. And then creating that balance. And then you go into exercise. Well, you do your exercise, and that's a daily thing. Normal get up and move around, walking and moving around in the house. Try not to sit more than an hour, because we weren't meant to sit for long periods of time. Our body's not adapted to that. We're adapted to being hunters and gatherers. So do that again. Get up every hour, set an alarm or something, and just move for a few minutes. All right? And then figure out the strength training for you. So now you've got your meal, you're eating down, you're eating natural foods, not all this over-processed garbage. You're now walking, and you're doing some strength training, and you're making that into a daily habit. You're creating this balance in your life. And then the other thing, of course, you're acting like our forefathers, our ancestors did, and you're doing intermediate fasting, just so that you can keep your metabolism cleaned out and strong. It also resets your gut biome, because when your gut is able to take a break from digesting and not snacking all these in, it used to be where you eat 5-6 meals a day because you wanted to keep your metabolism high. Well, that's been proven that doesn't work either. So you give your gut rest, your gut biome gets better, your whole digestive system gets better, your metabolism, your microbials and all your other cells, your mitochondria, they all get better with the intermediate fasting, and your body finds that balance. That's the thing that is so important. So don't listen to these fitness gurus that are talking about, you got to have your cheat meals and stuff. That's not creating a good mindset either, because that's making you crave or want that bad food more because it's your cheat meal. This is your reward for doing all this hard work. It's no reward, that's a punishment. Okay? You need to think of these cheat meals as punishing yourself, because after you have a cheat meal, you have that double scoop of ice cream, that pasta, that pizza that doesn't digest in your stomach for 16 hours because it's all got this garbage. It's made with garbage. That's not a cheat meal. That's not a reward. That's punishment for your body. You're going to be inflamed. You're going to have, indigestion, heartburn, all this stuff. And then you're going to be popping those heartburn medicine, the Tums and stuff. That's horrible for you, your digestive system and everything. So don't do that. Find the balance. Your rewards should be, a couple more eggs, really good eggs, a couple more nice steaks. Do what I do. I buy the chuck roast, 2 to 3 pounds of it for under $20, and then I cut them up into 3, 4, 5, 10 to 12 ounce steaks, and that's my reward, with a ton of grass-fed, grass-finished butter. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so yummy. That's my reward. All right. So I hope this made sense. Excuse me. Thank you for those who said bless you. You guys have a blessed day. All right.